Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, then welcome. Today's pick a card reading is, we are going to see how do people see you versus how do you see yourself. Okay, well, let's find out. In front of me, I have 4 different options, each with a different shell. Choose the one that really calls out to you. This is group 1. Group 2, Group 3, and Group 4. If you need more time, you can pause the video now, and if you know which one you want, you can go to the timestamp down below. Okay, let's get started. Hey, group number 1. Okay, so how do people see you versus how do you see yourself? So for how people see you, I got the Emperor, which tells me that when you guys walk into a room, people notice you. Okay, so you have like this commanding presence. Okay, and now for some of you, I'm getting that you actually are in a position of authority, okay, involving work. So some of you might be a teacher, you know, and you're in charge of classrooms. Others of you might be in law enforcement. Others of you might be bosses or like managers, but I'm definitely getting, for a portion of you watching this, you definitely have a job that goes right along with your personality and you're in charge of people, okay? And I get the impression that like when you walk into the room, like they straighten up, you know, they start to act right, okay? And for others of you, that does not pertain to you, but you, in just personality-wise and looks-wise, just have this like commanding presence, okay? And people take notice. They notice you. And I'm also getting the impression that you don't even have to say much. Like you're the type of person that if you don't like something, you will just give them this look and they're just like, oh, okay. You know, this person means business and they're not going to put up with, you know, anything, basically. Also, okay, so with the Emperor, I feel like a lot of you have a job where you communicate and that people see you as being really well spoken. Okay, so you speak really clearly and you communicate effectively. Okay, you get your point across and people understand. You're a real no-nonsense person. Okay, so basically people get the impression that when you're in front of them, you mean business and you are going to get the job done. Okay, so I'm also picking up on, you know, looking at the Emperor, that some of you watching this also might be in the military. Okay, so there's definitely like this structure and discipline theme coming across. So you guys are, whether you're in the military or not, you're also seen as being a structured and disciplined person. Okay, so I'm also getting like this kind of like a king-queen vibe as well with this group. So people also see you guys as like, yeah, you know when they say, oh yeah, go king, go queen, that's you guys. Okay, so you come across like, you know, kind of royal and regal like. Yeah, so, you know, if you put that crown in your bio, it's like you own it, okay? Go king, go queen. People, that's how they see you. Also, when looking at this card, like I'm getting that, you can't really see it, but like this lion's got like this stare, okay? So I'm getting the impression that you guys like, you don't avoid eye contact, okay? So you make really strong eye contact and I feel like other people look away. Like they kind of get weird, like they can get, not weird, but like kind of intimidated. Yeah, but that's not a bad thing though. I'm getting the impression that that's like a good thing, okay? Again, it has to do with that theme, like, it's like a theme of respect. Like, people respect you. The other thing that I'm getting is, I feel like you guys are pretty blunt. You're seen as being blunt, bold, confident, and some of you are definitely opinionative, so you're seen as opinionative as well. Okay, so I'm also getting that you guys are hard to read. Okay, so although you're blunt when you do speak, it's usually about whatever, you're either working on or whatever, you're talking about with others. But as far as yourself goes, I feel like there's definitely this bit of mystery where people they can't quite put their finger on you. They don't quite have you figured out, okay? So you leave just enough mystery. Yeah, like you don't just, when it comes to yourself, you're not like an open book where, you're posting on social media every little thought and feeling. And even like when you're hanging out socially, I don't feel like, you like to like spill the tea when it comes to yourself. Now others, that's kind of a different story. But as far as yourself goes, I definitely am getting the impression that, it either takes you knowing the people well or them asking. But I don't see you being that open as far as yourself goes. Yes, I do feel like people see you as being attractive. But again, there's definitely this regal royal theme going on with you where I feel like a lot of people are a little intimidated, like in a good way, but still almost like they think, you're kind of unapproachable. So like if you don't maybe show interest first, I feel like others are just like, yeah, I'm not about to get rejected. Like you are seen as being out of people's leagues. So, yeah, and what's interesting is I actually am getting the impression now that I'm talking about that you probably are wondering sometimes like, why am I not being hit up? Why are people not really showing, interest? And, it's not that they're not interested. I'm literally getting that people, they kind of mirror back, first of all, like your poker face. Okay. I feel like that's the other thing is some of you definitely have like this poker face where not only do they not know a lot about you, but it's like they can't even gauge from your expressions, like if you're interested or not. Okay. It's just how you are. And yeah, I feel like they think, well, I'm not getting a sign, so I'm not gonna like approach this person in that way or show that I'm interested. So they kind of mirror back your poker face with their actions. And yeah, so it's not that people aren't interested, but they literally like, I feel like need a sign from you that you're interested, or they just won't go there. That's interesting. The other impression that I'm getting is that the lion with his sword here is kind of like people like just know. It's like unspoken but a knowing that like, that if they cross a line with you or whatever, you won't be afraid to cut them off. Like you are that like independent and secure that it's like you come across like, I'm fine by myself, like I was fine before you, I'll be fine without you type of energy. And like people know this and they know that you're not going to put up with whatever is less than okay for you and that you will cut them off. Okay, so that is how they see you. Now, how do you see you? Okay, so I'm getting the impression that overall, that is basically how you see yourself as well, except a more laid back version, okay? And those who are close to you, they also know that laid back version of this bold, confident, blunt person who can be opinionated and have a poker face and who does mean business and is structured and disciplined, but, and seen like a king or queen and is attractive. But you guys, now what's interesting is the Ace of Wands flew out for you in particular. So that tells me that yes, you are all those things I mentioned, but like you also have a very creative side to you that maybe not a lot of people know about you. I do feel like some do, but like, so you're not all business, okay? Even if like your job is like more analytical, logical, business like, or authoritative, But you have this creative flair about you, okay? So definitely getting, you know, some kind of artisticness. Yeah, is that you see yourself as more passionately driven. So whereas others might see you as a bit more business-like, it's like you know that you're really being driven by your heart and by what inspires you and what you're passionate about. And I feel like looking at this picture in particular, that with the trees around this fairy, it's kind of like, I feel like you guys get a lot of your inspiration and your creative insights while you're out in nature. And I feel like you're kind of magical, okay? So like seeing that fairy on top of this light, I just feel like there's just this element of like it's like you make the impossible seem possible by how you are and whatever it is that you do. And with this light here, it's like you are a light for people, okay? So like whenever you do what you do, and maybe sometimes I'm getting the impression that you think, you know, is what I do make a difference? Is what I do matter? Yes, okay, I'm getting this impression that you are a definite light, especially when you're aligned with whatever it is that makes this like light shine in you, okay? I feel like you shine and you ignite that same light in others, whether you realize it or not. It's kind of interesting because I know this is like, how do they and you see yourself? But I felt like that message needed to come through. Like, I feel like you guys sometimes wonder, like, are you doing enough? Or is what you're doing making a difference? And even if it isn't the path that feels like your most authentic path, I am getting the impression that the way you are is what is really like the light for others. So yeah, I mean, that does also go hand in hand. I think, you know, with how they see you versus how you see you, I think sometimes you think like you're not doing enough wherever you're at, and you know, you think, oh, everybody just sees me as being this successful like person who knows how to get the job done and do it well. And I do think, you know, some of you who pick number one are kind of perfectionists that might be kind of hard on yourselves and don't see like all the good that you are doing and the ripple effect that that has on people. So yeah, I definitely see that for you. Okay, group number one, this is what I see for you. If this resonated, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Hey, group number two. Okay, so how do people see you versus how do you see yourself? Okay, so what I got for how people see you is the King of Air. Okay, so that right away what I'm getting is people see you guys as intelligent, okay? And I'm also getting the word like study for you. So I feel like a lot of you who are picking number two could be in school, okay? And if not, you might be studying for something. Like you're working on something right now that involves some kind of research or studying. So you're also seen as studious currently. But the overall like theme though is, like I said, you guys are seen as being intelligent and really knowing your stuff. So you're like seen as being on top of your game, and like people, you know, I feel like a lot of you it's in a particular area as well. So, you know, like other people, they know that they wouldn't hold a candle to being able to talk with you on whatever area it is that you seem to know a lot of. And others of you are actually more of a jack of all trades, so you're pretty well rounded and knowledgeable in a bunch of different areas, okay? But okay, so this is interesting. For whatever reason, like I've never noticed it with this card before, but for some reason with you guys I did. Like this guy's lips are like popping out, and it makes me, Okay, so I'm getting the impression that people, they like your lips, okay? Yeah, that came through for this. Okay, so the other thing is, I feel like you guys dress nice. Yeah, like it's coming through. Like people think you dress nice, or some of you, it's like your style is just different and it stands out to others. The other thing I'm getting is, now this is interesting, this is kind of like 50-50, so I feel like it could go either way. So some of you are seen as having a poker face and being mysterious and a little bit more on the introverted side. Okay, so, and then I feel like the other half of you who picked group number 2 are seen as being the opposite. Okay, so like you wear your heart on your sleeve, you're like real talkative, and I even feel like sometimes you guys will like say something and be like, oh, why did I just say that? You know? So like, yeah, it could go one way or the other for this group, I feel. Now, the group of you that would define yourself as being more on the introverted side, I do feel like you guys can also be a bit of a hermit, okay? Like you like your alone time, you know, you feel comfortable being alone, and it's not that you don't like to socialize. I do feel like you do, but you're also kind of a lone wolf, and you're like, yeah, you know, I need to like re-energize, and being alone does that for you. I also feel like those of you who enjoy being alone also get kind of like creative insights from being alone. Okay, so like, yeah, like insights come to you. Okay, whether it has to do with your spirituality or creativeness or both, I feel like that hermit alone time is like rejuvenating for your soul. Okay, so you know what's best for you. You know, you are the type that, I actually feel like both groups might be like this, even the chatty people, but a little less so than the more introverted people. I'm not saying you're introverted, but like definitely intro extroverted, you know. You like to hang out with others, but then you're like, mm-mm. I actually feel like as I said that, some of you are going to be like, no, I'm completely introverted, you know. I really don't care if I don't see people. Okay, well, this goes along with you too. So, yeah. Okay, I know this is about, you know, how do people see you, but it's funny how it kind of goes into just how you are in general too, you know, message wise. Okay, so I'm also getting the impression that people, okay, some people see you guys as you, like you come across like you're too cool for school type attitude, like you're seen as being like really trendy and just kind of like selective about who you hang out with, and like you're real particular about the music you listen to. Again, like going back with like the stylish clothes and like, yeah, there's just this element and theme with you guys about, you know, having the latest, certain brands, listening to certain music, just, yeah, like people notice that about you. Okay, so I'm also getting that some of you, this is interesting. I don't know why I got this in particular, but maybe it'll resonate for some of you. Like some of you are really into skiing or snowboarding. I'm also getting like skating, skateboarding. Yeah, just something like with the feet in particular. Okay. And I'm also getting the impression when I'm looking at this, like some of you are into scarves. Okay. And hats. Especially now that, well, winter's coming, you know, for the northern hemisphere, but yeah, even if it's not for wherever you're at, I feel like, yeah, just like hats, scarves, boots. Again, you're stylish, okay? Plaid. I feel like, you know what it is? I think not only does your style stand out to others, but like you're kind of like a trendsetter as well. So I think you actually have more of an influence than you realize, okay? By how you dress, how you act, what you post. Okay, so I would not be surprised if after you posted a particular thing, you know, whether it was a hat, a scarf of some type, and then all of a sudden you see like people who follow you posting something similar when you hadn't seen that before. Yeah, that was influenced by you. Okay, so I'm also getting that some of you might actually be a social influencer of some kind. And others of you, like I said, like people just take notice of what you post and they're like, this may not even be conscious. Like they could just subconsciously be like, you know, imitating you in a sense. And you know, there is a saying about that, like imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. So yeah. All in all though, like you guys are seen as being popular. So whether you think you are or you're not, you know, it could even be like you might have a large following on social media, but there's just some kind of impression that people are getting where they feel like, yeah, like you're well liked, okay, and you're looked up to. And like I said, it's kind of like you're a trendsetter, you're intelligent, you know your stuff, you know. And yeah. Oh, the other thing that I'm getting is like you guys like have like this charisma, okay? And like this swag about you that people can't, I feel like it drives people crazy, honestly. Whether they like show that or not, it's just like you just have this way about you where I feel like a lot of people want a chance with you. Okay, so I'm also getting the impression that some people see you as like, I don't want to say playerish, but like they definitely feel like you have a lot of people who pursue you and that you are definitely choosy. And that I think some people think like because you have so many people who pursue you, it's kind of like they feel like you're hard to get. And they even wonder, like, does this person even want, you know, like something serious? You have kind of this nature about you, kind of like this freedom theme, like a free-spirited, free person who is hard to get, you know, like I I'm getting the impression, you know, you might get hit up a lot and you might leave people on red. Like that's just how it is. And yeah, I feel like people think, you know, who have approached you, like you don't really give them a shot. And, you know, like they just don't fit what you want. You also come across as like an independent person who's self-reliant, who don't need no man or woman. No, you know what I mean though. Like that's just your energy. It's like very like secure. The, oh, the other thing that is coming through is that people see you as being very observant. Okay, like you don't miss a thing, and you are the type that would remember birthdays and anniversaries and all that, like as well as like small details about people, and they're like, oh, you remember that, and it means a lot to them. Okay. I just feel like you notice things, whereas other people, it's like they're in their head, they're in their own world, and it's like in one ear and out the other. But no, okay, I get the impression, you know, that you pay attention to things that matter to people. So yeah, I think you come across as a great listener too. I'm also getting the impression that, you know, that you guys are also like seen as affectionate people, who smell nice. Okay. Okay, so that is how other people see you. Now let's see how you see yourself. Okay, so I got the Knight of Air for you. So that tells me that you guys basically do see yourselves the same way that others see you, which is like intelligent, a good communicator, you know, somebody who knows their stuff basically. and values their alone time and receives great insight with that. Now what's interesting is though, so the Knight of Air is like the King, but a little different. So I'm getting the impression that you guys actually see yourself as not as serious as you come across to others. Okay, so a bit more laid back and fun, chill, cool vibe. But I mean, you are seen that way as well with others. It's just you know yourself even more so that way. And I definitely see that those who know you well definitely see that side. And I feel like, you know, whenever I see this card in particular, it tells me that usually a person is really good, like quick with the words. So that tells me that like some of you are, yeah, it makes sense now why I got like some of you might be more introverted and then others of you are definitely more talkative. Okay, so with this, I'm feeling like, yeah, so when you're comfortable, okay, you are definitely like that other 50%. Those of you that I said were more introverted. And then all of a sudden, you know, the words just start coming out and it's like, people can't shut you up. You know what I mean? No, but it's all good. It's like, it's fun. It's lively. It's, you guys are funny. Okay. So you definitely see yourself as being talkative and funny, and some of you sarcastic and just like, yeah. And so that's interesting. So you might actually come across to others as a little bit more standoffish and some of you quiet but intelligent. Cool though. You guys definitely have this coolness about you though. And you know yourself to be a bit more immature, like for real, you know, with how you are. And yeah, definitely more of a talker and just, you know, like a fun person who is intelligent and stylish. And yeah, okay, so when I look at this person's face, they're like, so you are definitely choosy when it comes to, you know, who you want to even give the time of day as far as like dating goes. And I do feel like, you know, you do have like a lot of people that like you and are, you know, popular. So yeah. Okay, so along with you guys like feeling that you are kind of a less mature version than maybe how you come across to others, I'm also getting the impression that you have a more free-spirited nature about you than how you come across to others. Okay, so you might be seen as like studious, intelligent, and all up, you know, doing like you mean business when it comes to school work, whatever. But like you guys definitely have this like I said, like a free-spirited nature about you where you're not so structured and you are more spontaneous and kind of just free-flowing, like what inspires you in the moment and with how you naturally are, you know? Yeah. I feel like too, with your intelligence, but with this free-spiritedness, it's like you also have like kind of an outside of the box way of thinking of things. You like have this innovative mind. Okay, so I'm actually getting like Aquarius vibes for you guys. Like you're way more like, I'm gonna go down the, you know, path less traveled and do my own thing and make things happen that maybe others aren't used to seeing. There's just definitely this element of newness with you guys, okay? So, an unpredictableness, and you know this about yourselves. And yeah. Okay, group number 2, this is what I see for you. If this resonated, let me know in the comments and don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Hey, group number 3. Okay, so how do people see you versus how do you see yourself? So the card I got for you for how people see you is the 10 of Earth. Okay, so right away that tells me that you guys are like structured, you know, I've got my ducks in a row and my life together. That is how people see you. Some of you might be kind of conservative in nature, which just means that, you know, you have values, beliefs, and that you hold dearly to you and that you live by, okay? And okay, so when I was looking at this card, I had actually never noticed before this wolf that was sitting here. And it made me think instantly, whoa, you guys are seen as being fierce, okay? All right, you go. And on top of that, I just feel like, you know, the impression I got with that overall, though, was like just this independence that I'm actually feeling like people find really attractive, okay? And it makes sense because it's like, you know, when people like step into their own power and they don't come across like they have to have somebody, it's like, wow, you know, like, because there's no needy vibes there. So it's not saying that you don't want somebody, but it's like you don't have to have them. And it comes across, okay? And also, there's this treasure here. So I feel like, you know, people know, like, they see you as being like this treasure, okay? So not just like somebody that they just pass by and don't ever think about again. No, like whether they know you or they just met you, it's like you leave this impression, okay? It's just, it goes back with that fierceness. It's like you come across as like being this empowered person, you know, who just like walks like they own the room type. Yeah, fierce vibes with number 3. The other thing is she's got like wings like a butterfly. So whenever I see a butterfly in a card, it like, for me, that's like being the unicorn, okay? So like you are seen as being this unique person who's kind of hard to get and attractive, and I feel like, you know, you've got a lot of people that want you, but I feel like, you know, with the way she's like just like sitting there all like and then looking out, it's like, yeah, you know that though, you know, and you're kind of choosy, and that's good. But people, it's like they know that. So I'm also getting the impression that you might get a lot of attention on social media. So yeah, people notice that. Along with you being unique, though, I feel like there's like this differentness, okay? Because like the woman is also wearing antlers. So it's kind of like you have some kind of uniqueness that you bring to the table that, you know, like others, they notice, they take notice, and they're like, huh. Like whether they realize this or not, it's like, it's kind of like you being you is giving everyone else permission to be themselves. And I feel like you don't shy away from adding like this extra element, whether it's to your wardrobe or it's a piercing or it's something different, okay? You do something that's different. And it's just kind of making a statement like, yeah, you know, I'm not going to be like everyone else. I'm going to add my own spin and flair to anything, you know, whatever it is you're wearing or how you look, something. Okay, so the other thing that I'm getting with this is it's kind of like you guys you come across like you have a warrior spirit. Okay, so if you're a guy, I feel like you could be in sports or were in sports. You could be into working out. You could be in the military. Like there's definitely some kind of element of being a warrior and tough physically as well as mentally. I mean, it all goes hand in hand, but like I said, like a warrior spirit. And if you're a girl, I'm also getting the impression that you could be in the military or a jock, or just like, again, just like, some of you might even be tomboys, but like there's just this toughness about you, okay? This resiliency, like, and a perseverance. Like you've been through either a lot in life, or, you know, you've pushed yourself physically, maybe again with the workout theme. There's just some kind of element of like you having done something and triumphed, whereas not a lot of others have, okay? Yeah. Also, like, she has such a stare to her. You probably can't really tell, but I'm getting the impression that a lot of people are also drawn to your guys' eyes. Okay, group number 3. So that is how people see you. Now let's see how you see yourself. Okay, so you guys got the Queen of Earth. So overall, I do feel like you see yourself the way that others see you, you know, having your beliefs and values held closely, and, you know, just this have your ducks in a row type person. But I do feel like, you know, you probably feel like there's always more that you could be doing, even though I do think you do acknowledge what, you know, you have accomplished. But with the Queen of Earth here, again, she looks like she has a warrior spirit to her as well. So it's still coming through that you guys, guy or girl watching, you know, you have, again, this perseverance, this resilience, that like, and this theme of triumph. Like, you have done something that not a lot of people have done, and like you made it, you know, and it comes across like you have this mental and physical toughness about you. And she also has the butterfly. So it's like, again, with that uniqueness, like you're a tough person who is unique. And yeah, in fact, okay, so as I'm saying this, I'm like tying it all together. I feel like due to whatever it is that you made it through, it transformed you into the person that you are. And you know this about yourself. And I do feel like others know it about you as well. So again, you know, yeah. Okay, this is wild. I just realized too, they both also have antlers. So, okay, group number 3, I have to know, what is this unique thing that you have that I feel like you add on to the way you look? Like it's definitely coming across in both cards. The other thing I'm getting, though, with the fact that they're both Earth cards, is that you guys do have this practicality about you that others see and that you know about yourself, okay? So you're not just all like, yeah, imagination and dreaming. No, you take practical steps to make things happen, okay? So you're not just like all talk and all dreaming. You take action, you know? Okay, so I'm also seeing that there's all these leaves around her. So it's kind of like you guys, you make things grow. And what I mean by that is like, it's like if you work on a creative something, it just like blossoms, okay? So like, kind of like Empress vibes, you know what I mean? Like, you create things and they just like take on a life of their own. I also feel like you guys come alive in nature and feel like alive and inspired when out in nature. It like gives you this like rejuvenated sense of well-being. Okay, group number 3, that is what I got for you. If this resonated, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Okay, group number 4. Okay, so how do people see you versus how do you see yourself? Okay, so I got the Page of Fire for you guys. So that tells me that people see you guys as being these adventurous, lighthearted, spontaneous, and fun people. I also feel like, okay, so you guys are also seen as being these passionate, fiery, feisty kind of people, okay? You definitely have a light that shines in you, and you're very lively, okay? And basically, I feel like not only are you down for adventures, but it's kind of like you even make like moments of not doing anything seem fun by just how you are and how you speak. People also see you as very intelligent. You guys are also seen as being very creative. You guys also are known to be like flirts, okay? I feel like people also know that you have like, not only are you a fun, happy-go-lucky, adventurous person, but they also know that like there's a lot of light in this card, but there's also this dark depth to it. So it tells me that people also see though that you have a deep side to you, and maybe it's has to do with like spirituality or something, but there's another element to you that is definitely deep. And I do feel like, you know, you come across like you see the world differently than most people. And maybe that's, they get that impression by what you post on social media. Something gives people that impression, or maybe it's how you speak when you're with them. I also feel like though, along with, you know, you seeing the world in kind of a unique sense, it goes hand in hand with your creativity and what stands out to you and what you end up creating. Okay. In fact, I believe that is definitely one of the ways that people see that you see the world differently and you portray it in a creative light. Okay, so that's how others see you. Now, how do you see yourself? So I do get the impression that you guys see yourself like others do. Okay, so a fun, adventurous, spontaneous person who's creative and, you know, does have a depth to them and portrays creatively how they see the world. But we got the Chariot reverse for how you see yourself. So that tells me that you guys feel kind of like you're not exactly where you want to be in life. So I do feel like you guys feel like you come across, especially on social media, like you've got it all, you know, you're living your dream life, your best life. But I feel like with the Chariot reverse, you guys feel like, yeah, even though, you know, I'm broadcasting these moments that are amazing and whatever is creative and inspiring to you, it's like you don't totally feel like you're there yet though. Okay. So yeah, you're fun, you're lively, but I do feel like there is an element to your life that you feel like isn't quite there yet. That like your path isn't the one that is truly matches your heart's desire, basically. Not quite yet. And I feel like you're also, I think sometimes might have a tendency to be a little tough on yourself about not being where you think you should be. And I do feel like you guys are always trying to better yourselves. And sometimes, you know, you could be like, oh, why am I still, you know, reacting to this or have this pattern or do that? And it's like, I feel like, you know, this is kind of like a message to be gentle on yourself, okay? You're making more progress than you know, and how others view you in this awesome light is the real and best you. It is, you know? And, you know, it's like you're human, you know? You're not always going to be like that lively, adventurous, fun person. You know, you're going to have downtime. You're going to have, you know, things that you're gonna want to work on, and it's all okay. You know, it's all part of the journey, all part of the process. Yeah, I know. This is kind of a side note that was coming through as a message for you, because I know this is how they view you and how you view you. But it just feels like a relevant message though for this group. And I do feel like you guys, though, you do know that you're like these unique people who do have some kind of mission. I feel like there is something that's important to you that you do want to get out into the world and like, and it's kind of like, you know, you're wanting this to flip upright, okay, into the Chariot mode. It's where you feel like you can take off on this path and totally like live permanently in this adventurous, inspired state where you are helping and serving others in some way. And I wouldn't be surprised if you guys were like life path 6s or 9s, because there is definitely like a humanitarian vibe coming through for you about wanting to serve others, especially with some kind of like message or service that you have that is aligned with your path. Okay. So yeah, you know, I think a lot of that goes with trusting in the unfolding of the process of whatever it is that you're going through is going to help you with serving others on top of just trusting in the unfolding of it all, okay? And knowing that you will hear the right message or talk to the right people, you know? And the more that you just keep being that, the side, you know, that self that others see you as, basically, the more you can tap into that, the more that you are going to tap into the Chariot and like know what it is that you're supposed to do next to make this happen. Oh, and something else is coming through as far as like how others view you. I feel like you guys, there's something about the way you move. Okay. So some of you, it might be dancing, and others, it's just like you have this way of like when your demeanor, your mannerisms, just something about the way you move and walk and talk even, that others, I was going to say, find that so attractive. Now it sounds like my other video. But no, like, yeah, actually, like that's how they view you. Like there's something about the way you move when you're just being you that, yeah, people find that attractive. It goes along with how they view you, so it's all good. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, like, all in all, I definitely see that you guys show this fun side to others, and I feel like you are a little bit more serious when it comes to yourself. Like, you're still that fun person, but like, I feel like, you know, and it has to do with you being maybe a little tough on yourself, you know, but I mean, you mean well. It's just, you know, you got certain ideas in your mind, and it's like you want to get it done, and you want to already be living in this elevated state. But it's definitely about, you know, enjoying the journey and the process to it as well. Okay, group number 4, this is what I see for you. If this resonated, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys.